If competition right there with them. Pace car is off, and here they come for the green flag. They are underway. And Christopher will lead them down into turn one. Woody Pitcat up on the outside in the number 88. He's got Priest with him, and look at the shot by Ronnie Williams. Williams goes to the bottom quickly in that number 25. Racing alongside Ryan Priest. That is the battle for third. Williams right down on the inside of Priest, now taking a run at Woody Pitcat. Pitcat with an impressive win last Friday night at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Trying to get it done here tonight at Thompson. And gets passed by the 25 of Ronnie Williams. Williams going after Christopher, and now Ryan Priest down on the inside. Gets around Pitcat to go to third. So Pitcat shuffled back to fourth. Matt Swanson is fifth. Matt Galco is sixth. Chris Pastriak is seventh. Up front, Ronnie Williams sizing up Mike Christopher Jr. in the 7 New York. Those two have pulled away from the rest of the field. Here they come again down across the stripe. It's still Christopher and Williams continuing to put some distance between third place runner Ryan Priest and Woody Pitcat. Hanging tough in the number 88 for the fourth spot. Matt Swanson rounds out the top five in the number 89. Here's the move by Williams, taking a look at the bottom. Makes the shot, pulls up in front of Christopher. Christopher does the crossover and comes right back on the inside. And he gets back around Williams. Here's Williams looking to the inside out of turn number 4. And they're side by side at the stripe. Williams makes the pass again. Car bottoms out ever so slightly coming out of turn number 2 as the sparks fly. But this time he's able to stay ahead of Christopher, and Christopher will just kind of lock on to the back bumper of Ronnie Williams and follow him down into turn 1. They again maintain quite a distance over Ryan Priest, who's running a solid third in the number 40. And now Williams has kind of gone to the afterburners as he's put a couple of car lengths between himself and Mike Christopher. Williams now in a comfortable lead and setting a pretty good pace. Only 10 laps into the Nutmeg State 75, so we've got a ways to go. Ryan Priest now starts to close the gap. On second place, Mike Christopher Jr. Makes up a length or so on the backstretch and starts to close in. Woody Pitcat is coming with him in the 88. And then Matt Swanson rounds out the top 5. Just outside the top 5, Matt Galco in the 3, Chris Pastriak in the 75, and Keith Rocco in the 57. Taking a look underneath Pastriak. Meanwhile, Priest, talk about making up some ground. He not only caught Mike Christopher Jr., but drove around him on the outside. Now he'll go after Ronnie Williams. Priest looking to the inside of Ronnie Williams and makes it look easy. Driving down into turn 1, makes the pass. Ryan Priest is the new leader. Williams for second, Christopher for third. Fourth still is the 88. Woody Pitcat hanging right in there for fourth. And Matt Swanson rounds out the top 5. But Ryan Preece is the new leader. And he's turning some pretty quick laps. Not exactly getting away. He's in a comfortable lead, but Mike Christopher Jr. hangs right with him.
Hello. Down into 3 and 4 they go, back off the turn. Ryan Preece out front, Mike Christopher Jr. That 7NY team has been on a tear across everywhere, really. Winning up and down the states. 3 NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour wins in a row. And he won back here at the Icebreaker. Mike Christopher would love to take the $5,000 check away from Thompson tonight.
Well, right now, the check has Ryan Preece's name on it, but we got a ways to go. 18 laps completed the 75-lap event. Ronnie Williams taking another run in a race for second, got down underneath Mike Christopher Jr., but could not maintain it. Quickly closing on the 81 of Josh Zentek. Zentek will go a lap down, the first car to do so here on lap number 19.
Top 5 or 6 cars within the same straightaway. Keith Rocco at the end of that group sits 6th on the field. And we're already 20 laps into the Nutmeg State 75 presented by Twisted Tea. Preece, Christopher, Williams, Pitcat, and Swanson the top 5. Rocco is 6th. Chris Pastriak, Matt Galco, Colby Fournier. And down south making his way up here today, rounding out the top 10 right now is Spencer Davis.
Christopher stays right there on the back bumper of Ryan Preece. Preece got just enough to keep it out front. That's where he wants to be. Oh, look at the move that Woody Pitcat makes. Drove down underneath Ronnie Williams going into turn 1 and takes the 3rd spot away. Pitcat's not done with this.
One way to go here, Pete, and the thing we got to remember is if there's a caution flag, these drivers have fresh Hoosier rubber in the pit area that they can go in and take. It's going to be a strategy play to see who wants to take it and when. If there's a caution flag, we're 22 laps in, closing in on the 1/3 of the way mark, and it's Ryan Preece with about a 2-car length advantage. Mike Christopher Jr. is keeping him honest, but look at Pitcat. Work close now to the back bumper, up off of turn number 4. He's within 2-car lengths of the battle for second.
And the guy that's really turned it on is Keith Rocco, as Rocco has come up inside the top 5, doing battle with Matt Swanson right now. Gets around Swanson on the inside. And Rocco now is 5th. Swanson back to 6th. Chris Pastriak all by himself in 7th.
I'll tell you, we talked to Keith Rocco after the Sunoco Modified feature, and he was kind of puzzled on what happened there over the course of the second half of the race. Wants redemption in the Outlaw Open Modified Series here tonight after a tough icebreaker. Meanwhile, up front, Christopher's been trying the bottom groove on Ryan Preece, but he's not overly pressuring the issue, making sure he's got a car for the final laps as we're down to the final 50 circuits.
Yeah, we're 1/3 of the way through already, 25 laps complete. And yeah, there's no reason to make any bold moves at this point. We've got quite a ways to go. But making a bold move and making a statement is Keith Rocco. Rocco in that 57, testing the inside of Ronnie Williams. Those guys have done battle before.
Back across the stripe they come. Rocco's got the 4th spot away from Ronnie Williams in the 57. And Keith Rocco turning the jets on here as we move into the second third of this event. Lap car up ahead of your leaders is going to be Kevin Folan in the number 17. He runs 15th. He's the last car in the lead lap right now as they come off of turn number 4. 28 laps on the scoreboard. And Pete, I'm watching Woody Pitcat. He's closed the gap from at the bottom of the top 5 now up to 3rd, and he's within a half a car length of Mike Christopher Jr. in that race for 2nd.
Yeah, and a pretty good battle just behind that. Matt Swanson and Ronnie Williams. Swanson was able to get around him and pick up a position.
Family-owned team for Matt Swanson, and they've done a heck of a job getting that operation back up off the ground running after driving Old Blue for a couple of years. And up front, battle for 2nd. Pitcat down to the inside of Mike Christopher Jr. The Dunleavy Truck and Trailer Repair, number 88, as Folan goes around behind them, and there's the first caution of the event.
And the pace car makes its way to the infield, and we get ready for the restart. Green flag is in the air.
Ryan Priest gets the jump from the outside lane, and the top two go back right where they were, with Priest and Christopher in the lead positions coming off of turn number 2. Priest down across the nose of Christopher. Keith Rocco, though, able to use the outside lane to get around Woody Pitkat. He jumps up to third. And how about Spencer Davis making an appearance in the top 5?
Yeah, by virtue of a bunch of cars in front of him that decided to pit, they've got to work their way back up from the back. So Davis ends up in the 5th position. Meanwhile, up front, it's still Priest with Christopher and Keith Rocco with a solid 3rd place run going on right now.
First car with fresh rubber, and this one is going to be Matt Galco in the 7th position, driving car number 3. He's got fresh tire on the right side of that car, along with Jacob Perry in the 76 right behind him. So we'll see how quickly they can work their way up through the field. And Pete, I'm going to be willing to bet that Ronnie Williams put a tire on after running up in the top 5, along with Matt Swanson. Would not surprise me if they took it easy here on this segment of the race, knowing they're stuck on that rubber now for the remainder of the event. So once the leaders pit, if they pit, they will have the advantage.
Very good point right there, because he's certainly not turning the kind of laps he was prior to the caution, but the caution may be with him and the fact that he wants to save that tire. Right now, he's in a big crowd of modifieds towards the back, but working his way into turn 1.
Up front, Christopher closing back to the back bumper of the number 40 of Ryan Priest, with Pitkat 3rd, Rocco in 4th. Christopher's able to stay with Priest, and you got to wonder if he's got enough to get around him. Is he just riding there for now to let it play out and see how it shakes out at the end of the race, trying that real low line in the middle of turns 1 and 2 as they roll back down at the 3 and 4. Hard to believe, but there's only 40 laps to go in this one this time by.
40 to go, pretty much the length of a good old Saturday night shootout here. And we've seen a lot of action up front as no one's been able to just get away and claim a big lead. Boy, here's Mike Christopher with a move down underneath Ryan Priest. And Christopher Jr. goes back to the point. Priest shuffled back to 2nd. Still a great run for Woody Pitkat. He got back around Keith Rocco. And Pitkat is 3rd, Rocco is 4th. Chris Pastriak rounds out the top 5.
Top 4 cars have really distanced himself. Pastriak about 8 car lengths behind them. A little bit further back, the 76 of Jacob Perry's made a couple moves here. A little bit ago, he looked, he was 9th. He's made his way up to 6th. Spencer Davis is falling a bit as Matt Swanson's going around Matt Galco. He's going to challenge Davis now as the field rolls off of turn number 4. Brian Cowan gives the field a halfway signal. 38 laps complete. There's 37 to go.
And probably the biggest lead of the night right now, Mike Christopher Jr. has it. He's got some breathing room between himself and Ryan Priest, but again, we've still got half of this race yet to run. The other guy who just is on a torrid pace is Woody Pitkat. Great run in that number 88. He's closing in on Ryan Priest to get into a battle for 2nd.
Yeah, Pitkat picked up the win at the Stafford Motor Speedway last Friday night. Talked to car owner Doug Dunleavy in the pit area earlier, and Doug told Woody on Friday night, hey, you win tonight, we're going to Thompson Wednesday. And Woody was able to go out there and get the job done, pick up the win at Stafford. He's come here to Thompson, and he is certainly going to be a contender here in the final 35 laps of this one.
That is for sure, as he's right there, and Ryan Priest getting a mirror full of him right now. They've kind of put some distance between themselves and Keith Rocco, who runs in 4th. Pastriak rounds out the top 5. Then a good run for Jacob Perry, who runs 6th. 7th is Matt Swanson. And now Ronnie Williams up to the 8th spot.
Down the back straightaway they go. The top 3 cars have strung out from 4th place Keith Rocco as they roll back off of turn number 4. 33 laps remain in the Nutmeg State 75. Of course, tonight presented by our friends at Twisted Tea. Big thanks to them for jumping on board in tonight's 75-lap feature as the presenting sponsor. And somebody is going to be celebrating, possibly with a Twisted Tea, down in Victory Lane here before long. And behind this top 4 or 5, Pete, the battle's closed up with Matt Swanson back up to the 7th spot. He's closed in on Jacob Perry and Chris Pastriak, and Swanson could find himself in the top 5 here before long.
Looking at some of the times as they come across the start-finish line, pretty evenly matched up front there. You can see it by the way they are running, but on the clock, pretty much the same way, too. Just setting a good pace for this point of the race.
44 laps complete, 30 field. Make it 4 wide. And are they going to start 4 wide? No, they're going to start 3 wide, Pete, but Perry's on the throttle. We're back underway.
Green flag. Yes, they are back underway, and everybody scatters for position. Meanwhile, up front, Matt Swanson will lead him through 1 and 2, but Jacob Perry with a charge out of turn 2 goes to the bottom, down into turn 3.
Jacob Perry is not going to give it up easy as Swanson works the outside lane. Off of 4 they come. Give the advantage to Swanson with 25 laps to go. Pitcat was the first car off pit road. He's up to 3rd. Mike Christopher Jr. not far behind in the 4th spot.
Yeah, the way Christopher Jr. was running early in this race, he's going to go right with him up to the front. There's Woody Pitcat with a move. Down underneath Jacob Perry. Perry does the crossover to come back. They're side by side in the race for 2nd.
Into 1 and 2 they go. Pitcat's going to have the advantage through the middle of the corner. Clears to the 2nd spot. Going to bring Mike Christopher Jr. with him up to the number 3 spot. Christopher dives to the bottom lane. Tommy Baldwin's entry rolls to the 2nd spot for a moment, but Pitcat's not going to give it up as they come back to the stripe.
Yeah, they are duking it out there for 2nd place. Woody trying to make it work up there on the high side. This time maybe a little too high into turn number 1, and Christopher's able to drive around him and go to 2nd. Pitcat back to 3rd. Jacob Perry holds on to 4th, and what a battle for 5th.
Ronnie Williams down to the inside of Buddy Charette. They race side by side across the start-finish line with 22 laps to go. Williams is up to 5th. Pastiak's coming with him up to 6th. Rocco behind him. And Brian Priest made some adjustments there. Does not look like that was what he needed in the number 40. He's struggling to make his way back up through the field.
Yeah, he is mired back there still. And not gaining the kind of ground he would need to get up front and battle for the lead, that's for sure. Even for the top 5 at this point, we'll have to wait and see.
20 laps to go when they hit the stripe this time by. Mike Christopher Jr. is inching closer to your leader. Matt Swanson, the All Phases Renovations entry, leads the charge, but Christopher's closed it in at just 0.3 of a second. He's got the fastest car on the racetrack at this point of the race. And with still 20 laps to go, you got to figure Mike Christopher is looking pretty here for the $5,000 prize.
Yeah, he's trying to get up there and do battle with Matt Swanson. Swanson pedaling as fast as he can to stay up there, but as you pointed out, on the clock, Christopher's a little quicker, and you see him gain some real ground going into the turn.
57 laps complete when they hit the stripe, this time by 18 more circuits to go. And Christopher down to the inside, rolls it off with the 2nd corner, and Mike Christopher Jr. takes control of the Nutmeg State 75, presented by Twisted Tea. Christopher's out front, off of 4 they come. There's 17 laps to go.
He will not be denied as he rockets back to the lead in that 7 New York to continue an outstanding year for Tommy Baldwin Racing as they head off the 2nd turn and down the backstretch. Matt Swanson trying to stay with him in the 2nd spot. Woody Pitcat is 3rd. Ronnie Williams up to the 4th spot, and Keith Rocco rounds out the top 5.
Across the stripe they come, 16 laps remaining. Christopher opens up a 2.98 second advantage over Swanson as Woody Pitcat sitting comfortably in 3rd. Ronnie Williams and Keith Rocco behind them as they come back to the stripe with 15 laps to go. They've strung themselves out again in the race around Thompson Speedway. Ryan Priest has passed Colby Fournier. That's going to put him up to the 8th position. But going to be hard-pressed for him to get back to the front of the field here before the end.
Yeah, Christopher continues to pad that lead. Now picks up another length over Matt Swanson. Woody Pitcat trying to reel in Swanson and get in there for a battle for 2nd. Remember, Swanson made the pit stop a lot earlier than these other guys, though car still seems to be working in his favor. But Pitcat with one piece of pressure rubber on there over Swanson. He'll try to reel him in, but the laps are winding down.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Swanson would have had the same strategy as Mike Christopher Jr., where we would be at this point with just 12 laps to go when they come back across the start-finish line. Christopher opening that gap just a little bit every lap. Very, very consistent lap times for Mike Christopher Jr. 19-4, 19-4, 19-4, 19-4, the last 4 laps across the start-finish line. That number 7 team has just been on a roll everywhere they go so far in 2022. The cars drive well. They've done it with multiple different drivers. As the caution flag comes out here, Pete, with trouble.
Pace car is off, and here they come for the final 12 laps of the Nutmeg State 75. Christopher right back to the lead at the green flag. Now a challenge on Swanson as Woody Pitcat tests the bottom, and with the top open, here comes Ronnie Williams to form a charge for that race for third.
Off of turn number 4 they come. Pitcat and Williams going at it for the third spot. Swanson looks like he's cleared the second for the moment as they come off too. He's definitely got the position. Christopher, though, opens up about 5-6 car lengths already. The race is on for third. Looks like that may be the battle here going down the stretch between Pitcat, Rocco, and Ronnie Williams.
Yeah, Rocco has found some speed here in the final stage of the race. And Ryan Preece has closed it up a little bit too, right on the back bumper of Chris Pastriak, as Rocco and Williams duke it out for the 4th spot.
Yeah, it looks like Preece's car is going a little bit better here in the late stages of the race than it was on that last run. And he may be able to contend for a top 5 here as he goes underneath Chris Pastriak in the race for 6th. Ronnie Williams and Keith Rocco racing hard for 4th. And that has allowed the top 3 to kind of separate themselves once again. Rocco looks like he might have the 4th spot. Williams trying to work the top lane, not able to pull it off the corner, and Rocco jumps to 4th. Here comes Preece to the inside of Pastriak.
Yeah, good battle there as Preece just can't quite get it to stick the way he wants through the turn, and Pastriak's able to get back by him as they both close in on Ronnie Williams.
7 more circuits to go for the 7th of Michael Christopher Jr. Out front, pulling away, looking to win the first 2 races of the Outlaw Open Modified Series season. He picked up 10,000 earlier in the year as the caution flag.
Car is off once again, and here they come. Green flag is in the air, and Mike Christopher Jr. is back in the lead. Matt Swanson holds on to 2nd, but quite a battle for 3rd between Woody Pitcat and Keith Rocco. Rocco's got the advantage out of 2, and now he'll go after Matt Swanson. Looking to the inside of the number.
As they get ready to roll, green flag goes in the air. Christopher on the bottom, Swanson on the outside. Green, 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 and whoa, Pitcat got really loose from 3rd. A great save by Woody, and he's going to maintain the 3rd spot as Christopher gets back out front.
Yeah, Woody's going to try and hustle down the backstretch, but he's got Rocco right on the outside. Here comes Ronnie Williams as well underneath Chris Pastriak, and Pitcat gets turned around, and somehow everybody scatters around him. Anthony Bello in trouble. Green flag.
Yeah, green, 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 and Christopher's able to clear on the outside lane, going down to turn 1. 1 car up into the outside wall, and 1 and 2. That is the 76 of Perry. He's able to continue racing. And up front, Pete, here comes Ryan Preece into the top 3 all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's come back. Keith Rocco really muscled his way in there to get underneath Matt Swanson and take the 2nd spot away. That was pretty tight because they were pretty much bouncing off of each other. Now Swanson scraping with Preece to hold on to the 3rd spot. Mike Christopher Jr. has checked out again. Rocco trying to reel him in, but he's running out of time with just 5 laps to go.
5 to go. Races for 3rd. Preece to the bottom in the Hunt Brothers Pizza number 40. Swanson to the outside. Oh, Swanson gets into him in the middle, 1 and 2. Tried a crossover move. It did not work. And Preece up to 3rd. Come out of nowhere here in the final laps of this one. But Mike Christopher Jr., Pete, is 4 laps away from victory.
Looks like he's got him covered. Keith Rocco going as hard as he can to try and reel him in if there'd be even the slightest mistake. But Christopher hasn't made any of those lately, and he continues to pull away. Actually, those front 2 are really opening it up. Preece in 3rd. Swanson stays within striking distance. And a good run for Chris Pastriak as he is running 5th. Ronnie Williams is 6th. And Matt Galco is 7th.
2 laps to go this time by as Rocco's about 6 car lengths back. If he's got anything for Mike Christopher Jr., he's got to show it now as they cross the line with 2 to go. Rocco in second. Ryan Priest is third. Matt Swanson fourth. And Chris Pastriak rounds out the top 5. Pete, as they roll down it to 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Josh Santek, a lap car in front of your leaders. I don't think he's going to be a factor as they cross at 1 to go.
Here they go, white flag, and Mike Christopher Jr. happy to see that, as he has been the class of the field tonight and continues to lengthen that lead on the backstretch. Checkered flags will go in the air this time, and Mike Christopher Jr. will win the Nutmeg Stakes 75 presented by Twisted Tea. Keith Rocco for second, Ryan Priest third, Matt Swanson fourth, Chris Pastriak